Assalamu alaikum. Today on Nooran Academy, we discuss a quiet crisis in modern education and a principled path toward a solution. If you benefit, please support by subscribing and sharing as a sadaqah.
In an age where we have endless apps, videos, and all these digital tools at our fingertips, you'd think learning would feel more connected than ever, right? But for so many students, it's just the opposite. They're spending hours staring at screens, but they feel completely alone, almost disconnected from the joy of discovery itself.
And this really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. It's this quiet crisis happening in digital education. It's not a crisis of not having enough information. It's a crisis of human connection. So where are things going wrong? Well, if you look at most of the tools out there, they're just missing that human element. The text-based AI chatbots, they feel cold, robotic. Pre-recorded videos are basically just one-sided lectures. You can't raise your hand and ask a question. And this creates a huge gap where questions don't get answered and real understanding, it just stays on the surface.
So let's dig into that a little deeper. Why exactly are these text-based systems failing our students? It's not really about the AI's intelligence. It all comes down to engagement.
Think about how our brains actually work. There's a ton of educational research showing that when we learn visually, our ability to retain information can shoot up by as much as 80%. We are literally wired to process visual cues, things like facial expressions, gestures, so much more effectively than just dry lines of text. When we only use text, we're leaving one of our most powerful learning tools on the table.
And that's because there's a world of difference between just getting information and actually achieving true understanding. On one hand, just getting info leads to passive learning, maybe some rote memorization. But on the other hand, real understanding, that only comes from actively engaging with the material, from thinking critically. Most AI just gives you an answer without the context. What we really need is a way to truly master the concepts themselves.
And this isn't just a small problem. Think about who gets hurt the most. It's the students who struggle with reading. It's the learners who find it tough to focus for long periods. And it's especially those kids who don't have access to a really great live teacher. These are the very students who are being failed the most by these impersonal, text-only systems.
So, what's the solution? Well, it's not just another app or a better algorithm. It demands a complete shift in how we think about learning, moving away from just delivering information and toward having a real conversation.
And this is where the idea of Visual Ustadmigo comes in. Imagine an AI tutor that doesn't just type back at you. Instead, you see a warm, expressive face, a video avatar that responds to you in real time. It explains things with a human-like tone, making learning feel personal and connected.
But here's the real game changer. It doesn't just spit out the answer. It uses the Socratic method, the same technique the world's best teachers have used for centuries. It listens to your question and then asks you a thoughtful question back, guiding you to discover the answer for yourself.
The impact of that simple shift is just profound. All of a sudden, learning isn't a one-way street anymore. It's not a passive lecture you just sit through. It becomes a dynamic, engaging dialogue. It's a genuine conversation where the student is an active participant, not just a passive observer.
And the whole process is designed to be beautifully simple. It all starts with the student's own curiosity. They ask a question, either by voice or by typing. Then, instead of a blunt answer, the AI guides them with a question. This gets the student thinking. Then, the video avatar explains the concept visually. And it's in this back and forth, this dialogue, that deep understanding really starts to grow.
Okay, so this whole approach is built on 5 core principles that all work together. First, that warm AI avatar. It provides the human touch that makes the interaction feel encouraging. Second, the Socratic engine. This is huge. It doesn't just give answers, it teaches you how to think. Third, voice input and output make it accessible to absolutely everyone. Fourth, a personalized memory means the AI actually gets to know you, adapting to your progress. And finally, live diagrams and visuals help make even the most complex ideas click. It's so much more than a new interface. It's a totally different way to learn. So let's zoom out for a second. What's the ultimate vision here? It's bigger than just the technology. It's about a future where every single student can have a mentor. And there's a very disciplined, principled path to making that a reality.
The way forward is clear and focused. Phase 1 is all about making sure the core idea actually works. Phase 2 is about getting it into the hands of students and measuring the real-world impact. And then, Phase 3 is about scaling this up so it can benefit learners all over the world. No shortcuts, just steady, principled work.
And let's be absolutely crystal clear on this point. The goal is not, and never will be, to replace our amazing human teachers. Not at all. The goal is to create a supportive tool, a tireless assistant that makes sure no student ever has to feel lost or alone on their learning journey.
And that really brings us to a fundamental truth. Ideas are wonderful, but what our community truly needs are the builders, the people who take a good idea and execute on it with excellence and sincerity. It's about turning that vision into something real that can actually serve and benefit others.
Presented and created by Nooran Studio.